The unicorn.
Oof. Well, in a nutshell, I've been many different kinds of an entrepreneur. I've been a successful one. I've been a failure of one.
Yeah.
And my wife and I have both worked in the startup and the small business space for a long time.
Yeah.
And with the passage of time, we realized two things. Firstly, we realized that most of the business and most of the startup books that we encountered were written by Americans or English people.
I'm so glad you touched base on that. That is so true.
And
that is so true.
there's a lot of really relevant lessons to be learned from those
Yeah.
books, but they're not written with our entrepreneurs in mind,
Yeah.
with our culture, with our spirit, with the practical challenges that entrepreneurs face in Australia. And then we also realized that we happen to know a lot of really successful startup founders. And so we thought, if we could interview all of them and turn their insights into a step-by-step guide, we might be able to create something that's actually useful for the Australian entrepreneur.
Here's a question for you. Startup and entrepreneur. What's the difference?
So, entrepreneur is like a big, all-encompassing term. I like to think of it as someone who will just be their own boss. Or I saw this great meme that I think summarizes it very well, which is an entrepreneur is someone who will work an 80-hour week to avoid working a 40-hour week. So they can't stand the idea of slaving away for someone else.
Yes.
They'd rather slave away for themselves.
Okay.
But, Davey, you ask a brilliant question. Because when we think about small businesses and startups, it's easy to think, well, a startup is like the next Canva or the next OpenAI, whereas a small business is that laundromat owned by mum and pop down the street. But some of the biggest companies in the world started as small businesses.
Correct.
So this is something we actually explore in depth in Writing the Unicorn, where we ask the